Okay. All right, so an official welcome then to the webinar of the Sunshine Project. This is our first webinar, and with the title "The Sunshine Project: Leveraging EU Space Data and Services for Disaster Resilience." We're very happy that you've all joined us today to learn more about the project as well as the trainings that are part of our activities. To give you a quick look of the agenda for today, we have welcome and introduction. And afterwards, Charlie is going to explain the Sunshine Project. He's going to introduce you to the project, the scope, and what the objectives are. After that, we'll have an overview of the Sunshine trainings by me. Together we will discuss the seminars, the webinars, the bilateral meetings, and the exercises, as well as the EUWSS technical assistance will be explained to you by Simon. Lastly, we're also going to see what happens after the Sunshine trainings, as well as some upcoming opportunities to participate. And last but not least, there will be a Q&A session where you will be able to ask us any question you have about the project, the trainings, and the other activities. Before we begin, some things to consider. First of all, this webinar is being recorded. And the recording of the webinar will be made available to you on the Sunshine page of the Union Civil Protection Knowledge Network website. You'll receive a link for that later on. We kindly ask you to stay muted when you're not speaking so that we can avoid disruptions and background noise during the presentation. When it's the time to ask questions during the Q&A session, you can use the raise hand function or the chat to ask your question to the Sunshine team. And we kindly ask you to be respectful when asking your questions. Lastly, if you want, you can activate the option to automatically translate captions, by clicking on the live transcript option on the menu, which is under the More button on the Zoom interface. So welcome once again and hello. My name is Anita Eliseu. I'm a project officer at the European Emergency Number Association. And I'm working on the Sunshine Project together with Charlie and Simon. And I'll let them introduce themselves, but we're here today to present the project to you and the Sunshine trainings.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the first Sunshine webinar. So I'm Charlie Faradji. I'm the project manager of the Sunshine project for the consortium, and I work at Telespazio France.
Hello everyone, I'm Simon from Telespazio side also. I'm working more on technical aspects on EWSS and Galileo subjects. Thank you, Anita.
Thank you as well. So I now give the floor to Charlie, who will introduce you all to the Sunshine Project in more detail.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Anita, for the introduction. And I will drive you through a couple slides on how the Sunshine Project stemmed and has been conceived before the detailed training agenda will be detailed by Anita. So, to introduce the drivers that led to the conception of the Sunshine Project, we have to go back to the factual situation that today in Europe, as well as in the rest of the world, we directly experience the evolution of the climate. So natural hazards on human populated areas, they increase in frequency and in intensity. And of course, this is also true for man-made hazards. So this leads to a pressing need for stronger and more resilient civil protection. So of course at national level, but also enhancing international cooperation. So we collectively need to be well prepared to handle the disasters that we face. So this is a generic situation that can be addressed. Anita, if you can go to the next slide. So there is this need that exists, and to try to cover it, Europe has been very active. And as of today, there are a number of space services, and that's the topic of this project, that are available to support the civil protection authorities in doing their duty and protect the civilians. So this question stemmed from the European Parliament and the member states of the EU, is that we have these assets that can help support civil protection. So how do we better understand the EU space services and make it better understood by the people that has to use it? And what is the full and complete potential of these EU space services to support national civil protection authorities? So for that, the EU space program has an important role to play into fulfilling these objectives. So basically, EU is developing and operating space infrastructures with great potential for civil protection community. And also there are space data and services for observation, monitoring, mapping of public warning. And so from that, many applications for safety and security exist and are expanding fast. So now, again, the question is how to make best use of the space capabilities in time of a crisis. So for that, the answer has been, one of the answer is the conception of the Sunshine Project. So we have three main goals. The first one is to present and demonstrate the EU space services. The second one is to help the civil protection community understand what they can do and how to use them. And of course, the third one, complementary to the other two, is to support the operational integration in national systems and procedure. So all of that is what we are trying to do in the Sunshine Project in the coming years. And what we want to achieve at the end of these 2 years, actually, is to strengthen the resilience of the EU member states through dedicated trainings and exercises on the use of space services. So now to do all of that, we are here today, and the Sunshine Project, it has been conceived in detail by the European Commission, DG DEFIS and DG ECHO. And we answered in the form of a consortium of 8 members. So you have the members here to best address these challenges. So if I go through them quickly, Telespazio is leading and coordinating the consortium, as well as bringing its experience on Galileo EWSS, so Emergency Warning Satellite System, and SSA, Space Situational Awareness. Also space, the University of Strasbourg and IABG, they are experts in the different services of Copernicus EMS, so Emergency Management Services. FDC is bringing expertise on GovSatcom, so governmental satellite communication, the upcoming IRIS², but also Galileo OSNMA. Edelweiss Resilience will detail the different mechanisms and services offered, such as the Emergency Rescue Coordination Center, the ERCC, the UCPKN, the Union Civil Protection Knowledge Network, the Global Situational System, and other services that you will see. CNES is, as an operator of Galileo EWSS, they are key to help us realize the different live demonstration and exercises using the actual space assets that you will have detailed in a few minutes. Finally, ENA, so the European Emergency Number Association, they bring their expertise in organizing large events, such as this webinar today, and also the upcoming seminars that we will discuss now. And this is a good transition back to Anita. I hope that you have a good overview of the project and how it has been conceived. So now we can discuss it in more details.
Thank you very much, Charlie, for this very concise and to the point presentation of the Sunshine Project. So now let's take a closer look to the Sunshine training activities, which are one of the key pillars of the project. So you see here the 4 different activities So we have 4 seminars, 5 webinars, one of which is taking place today, 1 bilateral meetings, and it is one with each EU member state, and then lastly 2 exercises. Oops, sorry. Through these activities, we aim to enhance the understanding and knowledge of the EU space data and services and how they can contribute to the operational needs faced by civil protection authorities. So these trainings are designed to help participants understand not only what the services can do, but also how they can be applied in real situations. Now, who are the Sunshine trainings for? The audience for these trainings includes operational and strategic actors such as civil protection authorities, emergency services, crisis and disaster management teams, but also high-level technical knowledge actors such as technical experts, training coordinators, technological and research institutes, and also lastly, political and coordination actors such as policymakers on a national level. Essentially, we want to reach the people who play a direct role in decision-making, coordination, and operations during emergencies, and equip them with the knowledge and the tools to fully use the EU space data and services. Now, we're going to look at the training activities one by one, starting with the seminars. The Sunshine seminars are our flagship training events, and they take place over a duration of 4 days. They offer an in-depth exploration of the EU space components and their applications in crisis management. What sets them apart is the train-the-trainer approach, which essentially ensures that the knowledge that participants gain during the seminars can be shared and replicated within their own teams afterwards. Each seminar combines presentations, practical demonstrations, and collaborative sessions so that participants can not only learn about the tools, but also how to use them. Here, you have an agenda of an indicative agenda of the seminars. This is more or less the agenda that we'll have for the upcoming seminar in Tallinn. Some of you might already be aware of it, but others who are not, you'll see the upcoming training opportunities in a little bit. But to give you a bit of an explanation, the boxes in blue are the theory and guided trainings, so theoretical presentations about the different EU space components. And then the boxes in pink are the practice sessions, the practical opportunities for the participants to make use of the theory they learned and take part in these exercises, workshops, and evaluations of the using the different EU space services that the seminars will cover. We said earlier that it's over 4 days. You see here as well, it's half of a first day and half of a fourth day, so 2 half days, 2 full days. And throughout, you get a very in-depth and detailed immersion into the EU space services and data. Now, what will you learn during the seminars? So during the seminars, participants will gain hands-on experience with various EU services and platforms, such as the ones that you will be seeing here. So for the ECHO online platforms, the Emergency Rescue Coordination Center portal, the Union Civil Protection Knowledge Network, the Global Situational System, and Aristotle. But there's also going to be a training on space situational awareness, SSA, which deals with main threats from space. And with that, you learn how SSA and its subsystems can monitor these threats, and also see some concrete examples of SSA use cases for civil protection. Then we have the Copernicus Emergency Management Service, Copernicus EMS. And in this big module, we have smaller sessions on the different services that you see here, such as the European Drought Observatory, the Global Human Settlement Layer, the European Forest Fire Information System, the European Flood Awareness System, the Rapid Mapping Service, and lastly, the Risk and Recovery Service for Preparedness. Then we have the Galileo Emergency Warning Satellite Service, Galileo EWSS, that will also be covered during the seminars. Here in these sessions, you learn about the Galileo EWSS concepts and capabilities, and also how to access and use Galileo EWSS. On top of that, there are some other Galileo services that support civil protection, such as the High Accuracy Service, the Open Service Navigation Message Authentication, the Public Regulated Service, PRS, and the Search and Rescue Service. Lastly, we have the European Satellite Communication Systems, GovSatcom. You'll learn what is GovSatcom and how to access it. And also, you'll gain a look at the future with IRIS². Furthermore, the sessions are presented through the lens of real-world crisis phases before, during, and after the disaster. So this ensures a clear understanding of how these tools support the entire crisis management cycle. And also these sessions will be presented using examples from 3 different disasters that you see here. The wildfires in Portugal in 2024, the floods in Central and Eastern Europe in 2024 as well, and last, the Chernobyl nuclear accident in 1986. Those will be used as reference disasters, as examples during the training. Now, the seminars include plenty of presentations, but the best way to learn really is to put theory into practice, right? So during the seminars, you'll take part in 3 interactive activities that you are seeing here. The tabletop exercise, when CEMS meets EWSS, the rotating workshop, Be a Satellite, and the pedagogical evaluation. You're going to learn more about those in more detail in the next slides, but through these activities, the Sunshine team is ensuring that the learning experience is both engaging and applicable to real operational contexts. So let's have a look at them one by one. Starting with the tabletop exercise, when Copernicus EMS meets Galileo EWSS. This session is going to be a role-play session simulating an impending disaster. So disaster is about to strike and you, the participants, will have to manage it. The scenario is going to be based on the 2024 Central Eastern Europe floods, and they will be involving 2 countries, Slovakia and Hungary. Participants will be split into 3 teams, Team Slovakia, Team Hungary, and Team ERCC. And lastly, you'll have Team Sunshine for support if you need it, and also our little mascot, Sunny. The main aim of the tabletop exercise is to help you discover the synergies between Copernicus EMS and Galileo EWSS. It'll also help you practice your understanding of Copernicus EMS and EWSS based on the theory that you have already learned in the previous sessions, the days before the tabletop exercise. And lastly, it will test the knowledge you have gained in a simulated exercise in which you'll be using real data and EU space services. Next, we have the rotating workshop, which we like to call Be a Satellite. Basically, during this workshop, you'll group up and you'll hop from table to table to test out the different platforms that the Sunshine team will introduce to you. There will be 5 interactive workshops taking place, and during them, you'll be able to discover the Galileo EWSS alert platform, but also on the topic of EWSS, practice with TUTs for alert notification. On the OSNMA platform, you'll get a demonstration of the OSNMA capacity. And lastly, you'll get to discover the EFIS platform and the EFAS platform for forest fires and floods, respectively. Throughout the workshop, you'll have the Sunshine team to guide you, to answer your questions, and to show you how these services can be used for real-life operations in managing crises and disasters. Lastly, there is a pedagogical evaluation because, well, you're going to have to show us what you've learned and get a bit of an evaluation on it as well. Essentially, how well have you understood the EU space components? That's the question that this session is going to answer. For this evaluation, you're going to work in groups with your fellow participants in the seminar, and you'll put your knowledge together to develop a short presentation on the EU space component that you will be assigned. Basically, you'll cover how does it work, what does it do, and how does it apply to your operations, the things that you need it for. You'll be able to use what you've learned from the previous presentations, so the theoretical modules, sorry, but also the tabletop exercises and that has taken place. And then you'll present to the audience, to the other participants, and you'll get their feedback. So moving on to the next training, the Sunshine webinars. These are complementary to the seminars in that they are online sessions offering more focused learning on specific EU space services, as well as keeping you all informed about the upcoming training opportunities. We organize two types of webinars: communication webinars, like the one that you've joined today, which is aimed more to boost the visibility of the project and promote training opportunities to all the relevant members of the audience. And then there is also, sorry, a bit of lag there. Then there's also the training webinars, which go deeper into particular EU space components and demonstrate the real-world use for civil protection. Lastly, on the training activities, we have the bilateral meetings, which are tailored discussions with each EU member state. These are a crucial part of our support because they provide a more tailored discussion with each EU member state that can address national context, challenges, and needs. These meetings build upon what participants have learned during the seminars and webinars, and they can involve national representatives from civil protection ministries or agencies that are responsible for that, relevant policymakers, as well as representatives from civil protection and technical experts or advisors. The aim of the bilateral meetings is to have a more one-on-one discussion with the Sunshine team, so we can discuss what your needs are, what are the challenges you're facing, as well as the opportunities through the EU space data and services to meet the needs that you have for your operations. You can already plan your slot for the bilateral meetings. All you have to do is follow the steps as they're shown here. Firstly, coordinate the main actors of your country that would be most relevant to take part in this, and then book your date for the meeting using the code below. In the meantime, you can also prepare your questions and cover all the topics that you want to discuss with the Sunshine team, so by the time we connect, we'll have the conversation going already. Don't worry if you don't know the dates or your availability already. This QR code will remain active in the coming weeks, so you can plan ahead and you can coordinate first with your team and come back to this recording or to the slides and set up your meeting through the code afterwards. So no worries, it will be still be available to you after this webinar. Now, a quick look ahead at our upcoming trainings. The next activity is going to be our first seminar in Tallinn, Estonia, taking place between the 25th and the 28th of November. After that, we're likely going to have another webinar in January 2026, so stay tuned for that. And then our next seminar is taking place in Strasbourg, France, between the 3rd and 6th of March. Towards the end of this webinar, you'll have the chance to scan another QR code that's going to take you to the expression of interest form, where will you be able to sign up and express your interest for the upcoming seminars. As I said earlier, there's 4 seminars in total, and the last 2 are going to take place over the springtime and summertime of 2026, likely in May and June. You'll receive updates on the location and the dates in the coming weeks. And well, you can also have a look here at the webinars that are going to be taking place in the coming months, as well as the exercises that Simon is going to talk about in a moment. Lastly, the bilateral meetings are going to take place throughout the first half of 2026. If you've scanned the QR code, you'll see that already there are some dates available, but that will take place over that period of time. So now I'm going to give the floor to Simon, who's going to talk to you about the exercises of the Sunshine Project.
Yeah, thank you, Anita. You will see during the Sunshine Project, we have 2 exercises scheduled. They are a bit different from the exercises you will do during the seminar. I will just explain to you just after. And the goal is to put all the theory learned during the seminars into practice. So please, next slide, Anita. Thank you. So as I said, the goal is to put theory into practice by using immersive simulations. You will be able to use here all the different use-based components you will learn during the seminars, so such as Copernicus CMS, Galileo AWSS, or other Galileo services, and also secured satellite communication, for example. And you will be given some roles into a room, and you will have to collaborate and make decisions to be able to respond to crises in real time. So there will be 2 sessions in 2026. There will be in Brussels. The first one should be in end of March, and the second one in September 2026. You will need to participate before to the seminars. So during the seminar, you will learn about theory about the different use-based components, and then you will put them into practice with the exercises. So it's a prerequisite for the exercises to attend to the seminars before, to one of the seminars before. And then it's a bit different from the tabletop exercises you will do during the seminars, because here it's over 2 days. It will be in Brussels in the European Commission, in one of the European Commission buildings. The first day you will have some presentation, icebreaker, and other presentation of tools. So you will be ready for the second day, where you will attend to 2 exercises, one short exercises for warming up on the tools and with the team, and finally a bigger exercise over 6 hours. Next slide. Thank you. Perfect. So during these exercises, here you have a global view of what will be one of the exercises. It's about the warm-up exercise that will be over 2 hours. So your mission will be to manage crisis over the fictional EU member state of Goodlandia. So we created a fictional country for these exercises, and you will be in charge of managing the crisis. So Anita, please, if you can click. Yeah, perfect. So in each scenario of the exercises, you will have some starting situation here, some droughts, heat wave, or high temperature, for example. Then you will have an event, wildfire ignition, and some escalation events also. And finally, you will have some objectives to attend. This is a global view of the short warm-up exercise, but you will see the 6-hour exercise will be more complex, and you will have some different events and escalation events, such as also different objectives to attend at the end of the exercise. And I think now I will hand the floor to Charlie.
Yes, thank you, Simon. So the last part of the training program is actually a bit different and a bit aside from the training program. Is what you have seen so far focuses on every space asset that we have detailed, but we are going a bit further on a specific one, which is Galileo Emergency Warning Satellite System. So it's the upcoming service of Galileo that allows EU member states to broadcast emergency warnings to the population through Galileo satellites. So this new service will enter into operation next year, and it is already being tested. And I know that many countries around the table, I see in the participants, have already tested it. So now the next step that we will address in the Sunshine project, don't go too fast, Anita, please. The next step is to guide you into integrating Galileo AWSS into your national systems and to prepare its arrival so you are ready for its adoption. So for that, we will guide and provide support physically on site to 10 selected EU member states. There are already some places that are filled, but there is still some time to apply to that and to take part of this adventure. So how will this unroll? We need to rely on you for a couple of things to make sure that all of this works nicely. So basically, the very three most important task that will rely on you is one, the identification of the relevant national actors that are involved in public population alerting and therefore in this adoption of EWSS. I will go a bit deeper on that right after. Then you will need to facilitate the coordination about those national civil protections authorities and us, so that you come as a team to this meeting and are ready to represent your member states. And of course, after and during this process, we will heavily rely on your feedback. We will explain you the functionalities, the features, the rules of using Galileo EWSS, and we rely on your feedback to complement and feed the European Commission and the USPA on the use of the service and how it is designed today. And what we will do on our side is also described here. So we will coordinate our collaborations and organize it over the different weeks. We will integrate this feedback that I just talked about and the foreseen difficulties or things that also go well to the proper integration of EWSS into your current systems. And finally, we'll provide guidelines and recommendations for EWSS adoption. All of that on you will rely on technical on-site visits and also remote assistance. So basically, a classical planning of this support will be a kickoff meeting where we make sure that all the national actors have been identified and we start setting up the next steps. We explain in much more detail what will happen during the upcoming weeks and the role of everyone. Then we start our analysis of what currently exists on your country, how EWSS would best support you and be deployed. We come and visit you and your installation if needed, if there are already things existing, and we continue the series of meetings on site. And then we finalize our recommendation to how best integrate EWSS in the last step. All of that over a few weeks next year. So who exactly are we looking for? for this activity. So there are three main categories that we believe is really important to be represented in this context to have the full picture in your country. So first one is the regulatory and political stakeholders. So we need to ensure the legal compliance of EWSS adoption on your national legislation, and so to have political support to promote and encourage this implementation. So as I said, we will provide this support to start with during the Sunshine Project to 10 member states. So we would like to select 10 member states that are already engaged into adopting Galileo AWSS to really help them towards the actual adoption. The goal is not here to discover what it is, it's really to go to the next step and actually adopt it. So then the second type of authorities that we need to have around table are the alerting authorities that are identified in your countries. So civil protection, health authorities, meteorological, local authorities, national authorities, anyone that will have the legal authority to issue alerts today with your existing public warning systems, or tomorrow with EWSS addition to that. And lastly, the third part of this discussion is with public warning system owners and providers. So anyone that is responsible at your national level for the setup and the maintenance of your public warning system. So this can be institutions as well as sometimes some industrials are directly involved in that. So typically ICT agencies, project management team, and public warning system providers. So once we gather everyone around the table, we can have a constructive project developed. So if you're interested in taking part in this EWSS integration support, you can contact the Sunshine team. Anita will come back later on the different ways to contact us. So there is the UCPKN webpage on the Sunshine project, but we also have a dedicated email address that you see here on your screen, sunshine@telespazio.com, and we can take it from there. We will answer you and organize the next steps. So thank you for that, and I will let you, Anita, go on with the conclusions.
Yeah, thank you, Charlie. So we've discussed all there is about the training activities, the exercises, but what happens after the trainings? Well, if you want to revisit a module or touch up on the knowledge that you've gained, all of the material for the Sunshine trainings will be available on the Union Civil Protection Knowledge Network platform, where you can download it for free. The UCPKN will essentially be your one-stop shop for all your civil protection training needs, and especially for all of your Sunshine training needs. You can scan the code that you see here right now on your screen to access our page, the Sunshine page, and this is where this webinar recording, for example, will be available, but in the future, it's also where the rest of the material will be available as well. You can access that material at any time, and you can reuse them for your own training to your teams. But then, what about you, the participants? What happens after the trainings? After successfully completing the seminars, all participants will receive a certificate of completion, which is going to act as proof of knowledge on the EU space services. You also become the main point of contact for organizing the bilateral meetings for your country, that is on top of the link that you could access earlier. And by becoming a main point of contact, you can direct the Sunshine team to all the relevant contacts to include in the meeting. So representatives of ministerial departments for civil protection, of agencies for civil protection, technical advisors or experts that are relevant to your operations, as well as any other individual who should be part of this discussion to work on your needs, on your national needs for integrating the EU space services and data. And on top of all of that, you can also help us by providing insights into those national needs in preparation for the meeting so that it can be just as precise as it needs to be to have the maximum positive effects. Lastly, you become Sunshine ambassadors, basically the reference point for your colleagues for information related to EU space services. There is going to be a community of these participants, of you who have successfully completed the Sunshine training seminars. And as ambassadors, you will be able not only to discuss the project and transfer your knowledge to your colleagues and your teammates, but also spread the word in a way to other relevant and potential participants for the trainings. Now, what comes next? So as we saw earlier on the calendar, the next training opportunity is going to be our first seminar in Tallinn, Estonia, 25 to 28 of November 2025. But after that comes Strasbourg, our second seminar, between the 3rd and 6th of March 2026. If you're interested to participate, we invite you to scan the QR code and fill in the expression of interest form. There are many fields that you'll have to fill, but this will help us gain an understanding of your profile, as well as your existing level of knowledge on the EU space services. You'll be contacted soon by the Sunshine team regarding the status of your registration, and hopefully we'll see some of you in Tallinn and then the rest of you in Strasbourg. And as I mentioned earlier, stay tuned for the next training webinar. All of the relevant information is going to be posted on the UCPKN platform on our Sunshine page. So now I think that we're ready to move on to the Q&A session. I see that there are already a few questions in the chat, but you could also ask your question directly to us by using the raise hand function.
Yes, I propose, Anita, to start answering the chat questions and then we can go on. So I will read the couple questions that I already answered. So will the recording be available online? And this also goes with, please facilitate the recording of this seminar to some other colleagues that couldn't join today. So yes, all of the webinar has been recorded, and the recordings as well as the slides, they will be available online for you to download and reuse. You will find them on the UCPKN webpage that I sent in the chat, as well as on the INAS website for the recording of this session. Then we had a question from Mr. Rifullah Khan from Pakistan, asking if from his country is entitled to join these training sessions. So today the seminars are primarily targeted to EU member states. We can also expand it to the UCPM countries, and this will be the primary selected participants. Then we have the webinars, such the one that we have done today is communication webinars, but you will have understood that there are more topic-based webinars that will address some of the content that we have seen into the seminars. And so it is possible to apply to that. So please do fill the expression of interest form that Anita just showed the QR code right before, so we can study your application and come back to you about your possible participation. Then I see from Michael Felfernik 2 questions. Will you integrate also maritime satellite services? What do you exactly mean by this question, please? I don't know, Anita, if the audience can switch on their microphones.
They should be able to, but I could also... Oh, there you go. Michael, you should be able to speak now.
Okay, I hope you hear me now.
Yeah, very
Yes,
clearly.
Yes, thank you very much, and thanks for the excellent presentation on the project as a whole. The question basically is the Union Civil Protection Mechanism is working quite closely also with maritime services, and I just came from a workshop where the cooperation between traditional civil protection services and EMSA and maritime incidents was discussed. And of course, there's also a maritime satellite service available within the European Union. So will this somehow be covered? I also speak about well, accidents, but also pollution observations and what EMSA is doing. That's the background of the question.
Okay, so I will let my colleague Caroline answer to this question because she's with us today.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, hello everyone. So about your question, I hope I understood it correctly. I think you are referring to some of the Copernicus services that actually address the maritime segment, right?
Exactly, yes.
Okay. So on Sunshine Project, we focus on Copernicus services that actually are really first targeting crisis management, like EFIS for fire or EFAS for floods, for instance, and also imagery for mapping some areas where there are crises. And today in the program, we do not actually plan to cover all the Copernicus services. So I think what you mentioned is let's say, out of scope of the main program of the Sunshine Project. But if you want to share some information about these synergies you mentioned, we would be glad to have this information. You can maybe share with us by email and we can analyze it.
Well, I can get you in contact with the project management because anyhow it's a training team of the European Commission DG ECHO that was responsible for this workshop, so they would have all the information. But I can drop you an email with the contact there.
Perfect. Thank you for that. And then for the second part of your question, so could you please tell us also on the costs for training, exercises, and EWSS adoption? So all the training opportunities that we detailed are free of charge, so you don't need to pay to attend. However, the travel cost and accommodations are not covered, so you need to organize your travels. We do plan to cover the lunches during the events. But other than that, you need to cover your travel cost. But the trainings are free. On the EWSS adoption side, the same. So what we discussed and the process of guiding you is free, is covered by the project. However, all the technical implementations and reflections that you need to do on your side, of course, is to be covered by your country. Does that answer the question?
Yes, may I only add an additional question basically regarding that? So in case you travel to the country where you do the EWSS adoption, does the country have to cover the cost or will you cover your own costs for traveling and lodging?
We do cover our own costs.
Okay, thank you.
Then we have a question about the expression of interest for the first seminar has been closed. So the expression of interest form applies for all of the seminars, so you can still fill it. However, it's true that the event now in Estonia is in a few weeks, so we are not allowing direct inscriptions through the form. But if you are interested in participating, there are still some seats left. So you can fill the form and you can send us an email. I mean, we will come back to you if you fill the form anyway, and we can discuss the opportunity to come in Estonia, even though it's really close now, closing time, I mean. And there is a question on scholarship opportunities. So no, there are no direct scholarship opportunities linked to this project. Then we have a question about if the seminar is offered virtually. So no, it's also a decision that we take. There is a lot of interactions and hands-on workshops during the seminar. So you will not get the full experience if you only attend virtually. So we have a limited number of seats to those seminars. So they are reserved for people that can join physically. And that's it for the questions from the chat, but please, if there are any other questions in the audience, we have a bit of time to discuss now, so we can go into more details if you want to understand better some of the trainings that we are doing, and it's your time. Yes, please.
There is a question
hello.
from... Hello.
I have a question that is there any scholarship opportunities for the Pakistan, because I am working in the emergency rescue services and currently I am posted in Swat, which is the most vulnerable to the climate change emergencies, to the terrorist activities, to the road traffic accident and other forest fire and bushfires. So I am requesting that is there any opportunities to attend this training on a scholarship base, because this data and this training will be very helpful for us in the preparedness and the response phases.
Okay, thank you for your interest. So there are no scholarship opportunities directly linked to the Sunshine Project. However, there might be opportunities at different level on your country and Europe that we are not aware of, but directly linked to the projects, no, they are not, sorry.
Thank you.
Any other question from the audience? Okay, so I see a question about NGOs. Welcome to join. So yes, so... Sorry? Okay, so yeah, so the primarily targets are civil protection authorities of EU member states, but still we are keeping some seats for NGOs. But there are some available, so yes, please do fill the registration form and we will contact you.
If there are any other questions, you can use the raise hand function. Please feel free to ask any question about the trainings or the exercises. We are here to answer. I don't have a very good view of the chat. Are there any questions there, maybe?
I think we have addressed all the questions from the staff, from the chat, sorry. So if there are no more questions, I think we are a bit ahead of schedule. So it's good that everyone will have some free time this afternoon for the next hour. You have all the information to contact us, the direct email address, the UCP project page, the scan of the expression of interest as well. So we are looking forward to receiving your applications and expression of interest, and we will be answering to you as fast as possible. So please do come back to us. And I hope that you got all the information needed from this seminar today and that you can share it with your colleagues when you have the associated material.
Yeah, from my side as well, a reminder that if you want to watch the webinar again or browse the slides, the material will be available on our page, the Sunshine page of the Union Civil Protection Knowledge Network platform. You can scan the QR code to follow the page. This will be the central stop for any updates and news from the Sunshine project. So make sure to follow us and be updated for all of our upcoming activities. Now, if you have any further questions, you can contact us at the email addresses that you see on your screen right now. For anything concerning the Sunshine trainings, the logistics, and the participation, you can reach out to me at this email address, but also at our project address. And for any questions regarding the exercises that were discussed by Simon, you can reach out to him. Lastly, for any general questions on the Sunshine project and our activities, you can reach out to us through the email address, but also through the contact options on our UCPKN page. So we look forward, on behalf of the consortium, we look forward to meeting some of you in person during the Tallinn seminar, and hopefully many more of you in person during the future seminars, as well as the other activities, the exercises. And we look forward as well to the opportunity to help you continue to strengthen the community of civil protection, as well as the with the use of EU space services. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for joining the seminar, this webinar, and we look forward to welcoming you again to a future webinar.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good end of the day.